The Afghan-American Chamber of Commerce serves the interest of its members through numerous programs, advocates for a free and open market economy in Afghanistan, and endeavors to strengthen U.S.-Afghanistan economic relations. AACC's annual U.S.-Afghanistan Business Matchmaking Conference is the world's leading event for promotion of the private sector, business matchmaking, and investment in Afghanistan. AACC works to ensure that Afghanistan's economy and employment of the Afghan people remains a top priority for the U.S. and Afghan policymakers, and serves as a link between business and government to encourage progressive economic policies that will result in increased business, job creation, and investment between the U.S. and Afghanistan. We believe that peace and stability can only be achieved in Afghanistan through the success and growth of the private sector. It is the goal of AACC to promote the exchange of information and provide resources to its members through investment conferences, seminars, networking events, publications, and other avenues to stimulate U.S.-Afghanistan business and investment. The Afghan-American Chamber of Commerce, facilitating U.S.-Afghan business, investment, and trade ties.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of God, merciful. Honorable Congressman, my dear friend Don Ritter, Excellency Mr. Abibi, Deputy Minister, of the Afghanistan Civil Aviation Institute, and Deputy Minister Sadat, my very close friend Mr. Nasrat, Majlajan Habibiyar, and Mr. Lutfi, and the leadership and members of Afghan-American Chamber of Commerce, and other member of private sector, Afghans and Americans. Very good afternoon to all of you. It really gives me an honor and pleasure to be again part of this very important gathering as my dear friend, Honorable Congressman Don Ritter, as a close friend and a wonderful man. He gives me back all those very good memory from the old good days which we were together, and we had the opportunity and the honor to be in the position to serve both nations and also work for Afghanistan, the nation and the country which was just came out of all the troubles, the fighting and those insurgency and terrible situation. We all committed to serve somehow and to be able to bring back that country onto their feet and create the opportunity for the Afghan people, which was suffering and suffered for a long time. Really, as Don mentioned, I remember it was 2003, and we started to discuss the creation of such a institute which we're going to be able to bring the voice of the private sector in Afghanistan and change the mentality and change the culture of just the public sector and only the planning economic system which was exist for many years in the country. Let me begin by thanking the organizer, my dear friend Mr. Lutfi, the young Lutfi, and also my dear friend Mr. Lutfi, his father, and also the other leadership of this very important organization, and also our old colleagues of AACC, which they work very hard to put this important entity at the beginning of this mission, which we all started together. And also, I would like to convey my warmest welcome to all distinguished delegates and guests attending the U.S. Afghanistan Business Matchmaking Conference, BMC 2018. It's really an honor and privilege for me to be part of this very important gathering and this very important initiative for Afghanistan, and also for Afghan and for American private sector and private entities. I'm very delighted to be part of this program, and I'm thanking the organizer for giving me the opportunity and also invite me for this very important. I was last time in this position, in this important gathering, I think it was 2007. I was leading the Afghan business community at the first mission of this very important matchmaking conference. It's been a long time, but this is after a while, and I get busy with my other challenges which I was facing. Unfortunately, I was away for a while from being involved in this very important meetings and gathering. Please allow me to extend my warmest greeting to all honorable guests and delegations, representatives from organizations, members, partners, and enterprises, experts, and investors, Afghans, the American, and international alike. Of course, the credit goes to Afghan-American Chamber of Commerce, AACC, to conduct this conference for Afghan and American investors and other entities. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to state that, along with many businesses and investment event and activities, the Afghan-American Chamber of Commerce, AACC, has been proved a golden platform for both nations and the international to exchange their view on different opportunities in Afghanistan and the United States. Fortunately, it is laying the foundation for the development of trade, business, and investment in the private sector, as well as the development in developing relations for the development of both nations. Honorable guest, let me reveal the fact that we are now on the right track as compares to our past. It is an open secret that our past partnership with the United States was about building the institution and the nation, but today we are strategic partners. Today we are in a strategic bond, and fortunately we are talking about modern Afghanistan while modernizing its institutions, building the national economy, bringing multiculturalism, and fixing the problem within the security situation of Afghanistan. Our yesterday talks that how can we win the war, but today we are many steps forward in thinking about the establishment of trade, commerce, and investment in Afghanistan. It is my absolute honor to inform the honorable guest that most of the internal and external stakeholders agreed to reconstruct the Republic of Afghanistan in the wake of modern lines. Fortunately, we Afghans have achieved in economic, social, political spheres much than ever through the political, economic, and technical assistance and aid of the United States in the past 16 years. it's worth mentioning that today we can observe the emergence of a strong civil society in Afghanistan. Honorable distinguished guest, I'm happy to confirm here that the new government has come into power by the vote of the Afghan people, is striving to bring sustainable political, economic, and cultural stability to Afghanistan. Fortunately, we are the witness of the mega project in last 3 years, like the first phase, completion of Tapi, Kajaki hydropower dam, Salma hydropower dam and irrigation, the CASA 1000 regional energy market, TAP 500 kilovolt line, Lapis Lazuli transit, trade and transport routes, agreement, international transport and transit corridor, Chabahar agreement, 5 nation railway corridors, WTO accession of Afghanistan, spatial economic zones, multi-modal transport and logistic facilities, digital Silk Road, enhancing regional business-to-business partnership, as well as initiation like labor exchange and remittance are of the achievement of the current government, where we have practical started these projects. As our previous speakers, they mentioned in detail, I would like to go through that and waste your time. I believe that these mega projects will certainly change the fate of Afghanistan in the region. These projects will equally create equal chances for male and female in the areas of education, employment, and development. Of course, these projects will certainly bring peace, stability, and sustainable growth and development to the respective countries of Central and South Asia. The didactic vision of the region of His Excellency Muhammad Ashraf Ghani, the President of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, has been appreciated and accepted by all major stakeholders across the world. Interestingly, the National Security Advisor of Pakistan, Lieutenant General retired Nasir Khan Janjo, has just recently acknowledged that all stakeholders must make the best use of recent peace offer made by Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, in quote. He further said during a meeting with Japanese Ambassador Takashi Horia that, quote, I praised Ashraf Ghani's vision of seeking peace by ensuring simultaneous regional connectivity. Furthermore, we are on the track to enable our youth to take an active part in arts, sports, fine art, competitions, leadership, and development. Afghanistan is trying to enable the women to come forward and take an active part with their males shoulder by shoulder in all walks of life for putting towards the image and strength of Afghanistan in the world. Today, Afghanistan is still working hard to improve ourselves to continue to be potential and reliable trade partners to the international business communities and the United States. That's why we consider it important to fight against the systematic corruption, poor bureaucracy, failure management, and poor governance. But it is also a reality that the corruption is in decline. The institutions are getting better. The national unity government has made basic reform and heading towards a promising future with quick and correct reforms. Policies have been lauded by the people of Afghanistan and the international community. We are also very flexible on the part of the foreign investors in all areas of investment in Afghanistan. Afghanistan welcomes both national and international investors to look at the investment opportunities across different industries in Afghanistan. Afghanistan's legal and regulatory framework has been modified and expanded to accommodate huge investment, creating a protected and favorable environment for investors, an enabling environment. The law and regulation of Afghanistan create an optimal environment for foreign direct investment. With flat corporate tax rate, 100% of foreign ownership, and no restriction on capital repatriation, minimum tariff into import raw materials, Afghanistan is one of the most FDI-friendly destinations in the region. We are offering investment in Afghanistan's cement industry, hydropower plant, copper mines, oil and gas industrial park, as His Excellency the Deputy Minister mentioned and gave us all the detail, dairy, poultry, and marble industries, and many other sectors of production and services. Furthermore, we brought excellent reform in our bureaucracy and ultimate process for investors in guarantee scheme. We have also equal chances of investment in ICT and other mega projects as have been handed over to the major companies in Afghanistan. Honorable guests, the result that Afghanistan has achieved until now is an important support for us to remain confident and committed to grow strong in the years to come. We are determined to restructure the bureaucratic system. We need to establish a responsive public services commission as well as trustworthy public reform commission. A rational, well-ordered civil service system needs to be developed and utilized by the government to reassess all existing government services and servant and critical employees and responsible sectors. It is evident that the current outmoded and counterproductive system of traditional bureaucracy has to go, and that future staffing decisions must be based on talent, merit, and genuinely relevant qualifications. The current cabinet reform in academic affairs and Afghan National Army are good examples for convincing the stakeholders. Just recently, on April 4, 2018, around 162 senior Army generals retired from the Afghan military as efforts are underway to bring reforms in the security and defense sector of the country. We understand that it is in the national unquestionable interest that a national public service academy for training civil service be formed, an institutional that could likewise monitor the national progress toward achieving a sensible and transparent process of hiring talented and qualified individuals in meaningful positions. We will continue to pay due attention to macroeconomic stability, institutional and legal policy reform, sustainable development, job creation, and income rising for the people. In the coming years, we will focus on the development, maintenance, and continuation of mega projects and ensuring a sustainable peace in Afghanistan. We are creating the tolerance to accept the culture, diversity, and we welcome the sincere efforts of European, the international community, the United States, and its people, the regional players like India, for making Afghanistan again great and peaceful. In conclusion, let me again express my thanks and appreciation to the organizer, especially to the leadership of AACC, US Department of Commerce, and everyone who is involved in this very important gathering. I wish a very successful and fruitful conference, and thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamid. Thank you, Excellency. Can our next panel please come up to the dais? Get going.